Testing, testing. Hi, my name is Christopher Van Brussel, and this is
Alex Skopinich.
And today we're going to be talking about abortion.
Pro-life versus pro-choice.
What is abortion, you ask?
It's a medical procedure that ends a pregnancy.
And there's two ways for this to occur, through a pill or a surgery.
So, since 2022, they overturned Roe versus Wade, and they left it up to the states to decide if you can have abortion and up to how long you can wait to do it. And so, if you can see here,
The red is all banned abortions. The blue is it's legal beyond 22 weeks. Orange, it's between 6 to 12 weeks. It just depends on the state and what they allow. Democrats are pro-choice.
Yep. So this election year, we have Kamala Harris, who is basically talking about, it's women's right to decide if they are allowed to.
Okay, go. Yes, she is right. I am so sorry. It is a woman's right. That's what they stand for.
And since the overturn of Roe versus Wade, they kind of want to overturn it again. They want to get it back to where it's a federal law that, it's not up to the states. It's, you're allowed to have these abortions, and it should be up to a certain amount of time for everybody.
One of the cool things that happened was they allowed the banning of, pills?
They allowed for pills to be distributed through mail. So like COVID, when COVID happened, a lot of people couldn't go to the doctor and get their abortion, so they allowed it for people to get it mailed to them and successfully do it from home.
It's a short little video.
Come to your senses for the love of God! Shame on you! Shame on you!
If you want a snapshot of one of the most divisive issues that will decide this November's presidential election, this surely is it. A solitary middle-aged man screaming through a fence.
A 10-week-old!
I think that video shows a lot of purpose because, like they said, it is a middle-aged man screaming through a fence about what women should be able to do with their bodies. And then
This middle-aged man isn't the one that is laying with these women, so he's not going to be the one taking care of these kids, and you see a lot of women feel really strong in that video about their own rights.
throughout this whole election, they used a lot of rhetoric. One being metaphor, the one women's rights.
And it basically just shows it's like, conflict on, women's rights. Like, the two sides, going at it about whether they should be able to do this or not do it. And, it's not fair to the women that are actually carrying the child.
Another is repetition. Our body, our choice. They strongly suggest that it's their body and their choice. This outlines a good repetition. So the Republicans are pro-life.
So they're ultimately the reason why Roe versus Wade got overturned in 2022. So it just left it up to the states, like whatever the majority of what people wanted within that state, that ultimately is what got decided. So states like Alabama and Arkansas, they don't even let you get an abortion for rape or incest, which isn't really, could be fair, could not be fair to some people, whichever way you stand on that. So
Video, Trump
In the
explaining.
womb! These are human...
Trump, you're pro-life. But I want to ask you specifically, do you want the court, including the justices that you will name, to overturn Roe v. Wade, which includes, in fact, states a woman's right to abortion?
Well, if that would happen, because I am pro-life and I will be appointing pro-life judges, I would think that will go back to the individual states.
But I'm asking you specifically, would you like
If they
to...
overturned it, it'll go back to the states.
But what I'm asking you, sir, is do you want to see the court overturn? You just said you want to see the court protect the Second Amendment. Do you want to see the court overturn Roe v.
Well, if we
Wade?
put another 2 or perhaps 3 justices on, that's really what's going to be, that will happen. And that'll happen automatically, in my opinion, because I am putting pro-life justices on the court. I will say this, it will go back to the states, and the states will then make a determination.
Secretary
Well,
Clinton.
I strongly support.
Well, just like we said, it's basically up to the states. That's what the Republicans believe.
And, you know, he kept repeating, you know, pro-life, and he wants you to know that he's pro-life.
So that was one of the rhetorics we choose, was repetition. Another one that we strongly saw was imagery. And this because it creates like mental images of tiny precious lives and kind of shows you that it is a life that they don't want to be destroyed.
Yeah, they're innocent, and, you know, it's not fair to, you know, the kid to not get a life they deserve, like we did. And
that's it.
that concludes it, you know, pro-life versus pro-choice.
And I hope you get a better understanding and you make the right decision on whether you believe abortion should be illegal or not illegal.
Because both sides could use good, you know, rhetoric to establish, you know, good
Strong
evidence,
viewpoints.
yeah, on both sides on what is fair and what's not fair, so.
And this was the Chris and Alex show, and we are out. What do you think about the topic, sir? Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Tell the crowd. No, you can't lay down on this topic. Tell the crowd. There we go. Pro-life, pro-life, pro-choice. Okay, he doesn't. What do you think about the topic, sir? Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Tell the crowd. No, you can't lay down on this topic. Tell the crowd. There we go. Pro-life, pro-choice. Okay, he doesn't.